Let us see how to cut off subjects from complex backgrounds. So here we have a pot, and behind the pot we have wall and also ground. Let's try to separate this pot from the background. So the first thing we are supposed to do is we will just use the quick selection tool, and here we have the option select subject. So we got a rough selection. Then the next thing we are supposed to do is we will click on this select and mask. So one issue we can see here, we are not able to properly select the pot. We can see the background from these gaps, from within these leaves. So we have to get rid of this white background as well. So right now we are in select and mask window. So what we are supposed to do is here we need to check whether the view is overlay or not. Once the view is overlay, here we have to select the option refine edge brush tool, and then we will carefully remove the background. So we have to be very careful here. We should not remove any of the leaves. So a lot of background is lying behind these leaves. So we need to spend some time and get rid of all the background. We can zoom in and check, because some gaps are very narrow, very small. Right. So we are able to remove the background, but still we may have issues here. So the thing we are supposed to do now is we just have to scroll down. On the right side column at the bottom we can find this option decontaminate colors. We just have to click on it, right, and we can see the edges have now become a little bit dark. And the next thing is here we have the option output to, and output to we have to select new layer with layer mask, and we will simply click OK. Right, but we have not yet separated the subject from the background completely. We have to check if there are any other issues. So we will be creating a black background behind this pot. Right. So we can just carefully check the edges here. So we will see whether we have any issues. Okay. Right now we may not find issues, but one thing we'll be doing is here we have the mask thumbnail, and to the left we have the image thumbnail. So we will do one thing, we will hold Alt in PC or Option in Mac and click on this mask thumbnail to check the alpha of this pot. So we can see the alpha of the pot. There are some gray colors over the subject. We can find them over here in this place, and also over here we can see some gray color lying on the subject. We have to remove all the gray colors that are over the subject, because the subject color should be completely white and behind the subject the color should be completely black. So we will just select the brush. We will select a soft rounded brush, and then we will keep white as the foreground color, and the most important thing is we will change the mode to overlay. So we will use the overlay blend mode. Overlay blend mode will remove gray colors. It will not have effect on pure white or pure black. Overlay will have effect on gray colors. It will remove gray colors. So let's try to remove gray colors using the overlay blend mode. So we can see here there are some gray colors. we need to be careful here. So we got rid of all the gray colors over the subject. And if we zoom in, we can also see some gray colors over the background. So we will get rid of those gray colors that are over the background. So for that, we need to keep black in the foreground and make sure that overlay blend mode is still active. And we will just try to remove all the gray colors that are over the background. So we have to just zoom in and carefully remove all the gray. And here we can see there is some gray color on the subject. So again we will just keep white in the foreground and we'll just erase that particular gray color. Remember, overlay blend mode cannot remove pure white or pure black colors. It can only remove gray colors. And we can still see some gray colors on the subject here. So let's quickly get rid of all the gray. Right. Now this looks better. Now we will come out of the alpha. So we'll simply hold Alt in PC or Option in Mac and then click on the mask thumbnail here. I think we have still some issues over here. Just a minute, we will get rid of them. Right. So we can see here we are able to perfectly separate the subject from the background, and now we can do compositing. So let's try to do compositing here. So we will just get this particular image, and we can just keep it below this or behind this spot. So we can check. See, we are able to perfectly separate the subject from the background, and we can also check with some other image. Let's try some other image here. So you can just drag it, and we can just keep it behind this pot. So we can see the holes are also perfect here. We are able to perfectly separate the subject from the background, and we are not able to see any background from within these gaps, the gaps that are in between these leaves. So that is how we can perfectly separate subject from the background. And one thing we can still do, if we think that there is some amount of background that is sticking to the subject. For example, see, we can see a very tiny bit of this background lying over these leaves. So for that we can do one thing. We can just hold Control in PC or Command in Mac and click on this mask thumbnail, and we can just go to filter, and here we have the option other, and in other we have the option minimum. So we can see here we can just put a value of 1 in this radius input field. So we can see, so this is optional. So if you think that there is some halo or fringe lying on the edges of these leaves, we can get rid of that particular halo in this manner. So this is how we can separate subjects from the background. I hope you like this video. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.